Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of False Counted. I am Double D. Now, today's topic was originally going to be about Survivor Series, and I'll get to that in a minute for the respective matches on the card. But I'm going to talk about something else that WWE finally has decided to do, and they took way too long doing it. Earlier this week, where Wrestling Entertainment released James Ellsworth from his contract with the WWE, so now he is a free agent. We all remember Ellsworth as his Dean Ambrose's sidekick, the guy that got 2 fluke victories over AJ Styles, and basically treating the women's Money in the Bank match like crap towards the end when he got the briefcase for Carmella, who is still Miss Money in the Bank for the SmackDown Women's Division. My thought on that is WWE took too long with that. Granted, James Ellsworth was basically a jobber that got a contract because of social media, and it was about time that they finally cut him loose because, let's face it, it's bad for business. Now, I hope to God I don't see him on Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling, because basically, with all due respect, this guy is going to kill the business, literally. And the only good thing about this is that, he'll still be getting money from the WWE for the next 90 days. I'm pretty sure he has a royalty coming in for the rest of his life, or until WWE decides to cut him off for the lack of shirts that they probably made for him. And, people will probably be mad and upset, but again, that's just the way life is. So, to you, Mr. James Ellsworth, thank you for basically boring us with your presence on WWE television, and hopefully everything works out for you, I hope. So, just wanted to make a quick mention about James Ellsworth being released by WWE. So, let's get on to the main topic, Survivor Series. Note, this Sunday's Survivor Series is the 31st Survivor Series in WWE history, and there are several good matches on the card, including not one but 2 traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches, one for the men, one for the women. But before we get into all that, let's go into the pre-show, which will consist of Enzo Amore defending the Cruiserweight title against, if not mistaken, Kalisto, in the pre-show for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Now, Enzo Amore has been on a good run, sales has gone on, and Enzo Amore is trying to make the Cruiserweight division relevant again because of the fact that since 205 Live is taped right after SmackDown Live, it's losing its luster since the Cruiserweight Classic, which was a huge success for the WWE. For this match, I am going to predict that Enzo Amore will retain his Cruiserweight Championship against Kalisto, and hopefully the match is good and decent and longed out, drawn out. Next match on the card is a champion versus champion interbranded singles match. This is just one out of a few that's going to happen at Survivor Series, consisting of The Miz with The Miztourage, also The Miz is Intercontinental Champion, against the United States Champion Baron Corbin. Now, Baron Corbin has took some shots towards The Miz and his pregnant wife, Maryse, and Miz is basically ready to give Corbin the fight of his life. And Miz said that, and I quote, "If you ever talked about my pregnant wife again, I'll break your bleeping teeth in." No, the bleeping part is the F-bomb, but again, since I'm trying to be family friendly, I use the word bleeping. So, with that in mind, I love Miz. Miz is good. Miz is going to have the Miztourage with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas at ringside. But Baron Corbin is going to knock Miz out, and Corbin's going to defeat the Miz with the end of days. That's how I see it. Again, I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. Baron Corbin's going to be getting the victory over the Miz. Next match on the card is the non-title champion, second champion tag team match between the Bar, Cesaro, and Sheamus against the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Now, originally, it was supposed to be the Shield, consisting of Ambrose and Rollins, as in Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins going against the Usos. But thanks to New Day basically crashing the party on Raw, and it was a title match between the Shield and the Bar. The Bar of Cesaro and Sheamus end up defeating the Shield for the tag team championships. And I have a feeling, though the Usos are good. I give credit to the credit with Usos is good, but the Bar has been on a roll. The Bar knows what they're doing, and so the Bar, consisting of Cesaro and Sheamus, will defeat the Usos in this non-title tag team matchup. Now, let's go to the women's. We have the Goddess Alexa Bliss, who is the Raw Women's Champion, versus the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. Now, note, Charlotte Flair was originally supposed to be in a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match, but since she defeated Natalya Neidhart at SmackDown, this past SmackDown Live's taping, she is now going to be going and facing the Goddess Alexa Bliss. Now both I see a pretty good matchup. You have Second Nature, Charlotte, who's been on the roll lately. Her dad just released a new book. She defeated Natalya for the Women's Championship and stuff of that. So everything's going good for Charlotte. Blessed Bliss, not so much. So my prediction is this: Charlotte Flair is going to defeat the Goddess Alexa Bliss in this non-title match. The next non-title match we have here is Brock Lesnar going against AJ Styles. Now, note, I've been following AJ Styles' career since his TNA days, and the man is good. But again, AJ Styles is just a man. I know he's phenomenal in the ring, but he's going against Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beats and victimizes his opponents. And this may not be good for AJ Styles, because AJ Styles is going to get a trip to Suplex City. AJ Styles is going to be beaten, victimized, and conquered by Brock Lesnar. So, with that being said, Brock Lesnar is going to defeat the WWE Champion AJ Styles. Now, let's move on to the, I want to say, multi-man tag matches that's going to have happen at Survivor Series. First one is going to be the Shield versus New Day. Shield consisting of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, and the New Day of Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. Now, the Shield is all about spreading the power of positivity. But the Shield is going to end up making the power of positivity feel the hounds of justice. So, with that being said, and note, the Shield has been on the roll, minus that one little hiccup. The Shield is going to defeat the New Day in the 6-man inter-branded tag match. Now, let's go on to the traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 matchups. Let's start with the women. Team Raw will consist of Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, and they're going against Team SmackDown consisting of Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and blank. As I mentioned earlier, Charlotte was supposed to take part of the 5-on-5 Survivor Series Women's Elimination match, but due to her winning the title against Natalya Neidhart, the SmackDown Women's title, she's been added into the not champion versus championship match. On the day of the pay-per-view, we will find out who will be the fifth member of Team SmackDown for the women's side. And I have a feeling whoever Team SmackDown picked as their fifth woman is not going to matter due to the fact that Team Raw has two weapons, Nia Jax and Asuka. Nia Jax is going to victimize somebody from Team SmackDown. Nia Jackson also victimized somebody from Team SmackDown. So with that being said, Team Raw and for the women's are going to defeat Team SmackDown's women in the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series matchup. Now, let's get to the men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series matchup. For Team Raw, you have Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H, which again put himself into the match after removing Jason Jordan from that fifth slot. Going against the team, SmackDown's team of Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena. Now, this match is going to be good. I'm going to predict this match goes about half an hour long. Last year, if I remember, it was the Wyatts with Randy Orton who came up as the sole survivors for Team SmackDown for their Survivor Series matchup. And I have a feeling that with all the good talent Team SmackDown has for their man team, they are not going to survive against Team Raw. So with that being said, Team Raw will defeat Team SmackDown in the 5-on-5 Man Survivor Series matchups. And just to recap all my picks, Enzo Amore will retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Baron Corbin will defeat The Miz. Team Raw's both men and women will defeat Team SmackDown's men and women in the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series matchup. The Bar will defeat the Usos. Charlotte is going to defeat Alexa Bliss. Shield is going to beat New Day. And Brock Lesnar will defeat AJ Styles. So, with that being said, thank you guys for listening to this edition of Falls Counted. I am Double D. Follow my social media stuff. And until we meet again, friends, stay gold.